Okay, so I've started recording. Now, so firstly, I just want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. I know it is a weeknight and it's sort of around dinner time, so I appreciate everyone joining us and having a little listen about the UOW College pathways into the University of Wollongong. So this session is really aimed at helping EUKA students understand their options once they finish their year 11 and 12 studies through EUKA and how they can get into university. So I'll just move on to the next slide and we'll go over things. Firstly, I just wanted to do, I guess, an acknowledgement of country. At the University of Wollongong and UOW College, we are located on Aboriginal land. So we do acknowledge that the country for Aboriginal peoples is an interconnected set of ancient and sophisticated relationships. The University of Wollongong and UOW College spreads across many interrelated Aboriginal countries that are bound by this sacred landscape and intimate relationship with that landscape since creation. So from Sydney to the Southern Highlands to the South Coast, from freshwater to bitter water to salt, from city to urban to rural, the university acknowledges the devastating impact of colonisation on our campus's footprint and commit ourselves to truth-telling, healing and education. So a little bit about what to expect this evening. I've got a little bit of a structure here spread out. So I'll introduce the college and then you can meet myself and Henry a little bit more officially. We'll go over our course offerings, the benefits of studying at the college, the sort of type of support we have, as well as what you need to do to be able to get into a college course from your EUKA program. Scholarships, important dates, and then we can have some time for question and answer. In saying that though, if you do have any burning questions that pop up while we're presenting, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself or put a question in the chat and we're more than happy to answer as we're going to, but I will also make sure we have time at the end to answer all of your questions also. So a little bit about UOW College. So we do offer pathways into the University of Wollongong, and we do have courses delivered at our Wollongong campus, our Liverpool campus, and we have online and distance learning options too. So the college is really about helping students succeed. We want to help students that, haven't necessarily gone directly into university, find an alternative pathway, and to really help you build that academic confidence up and to help you succeed when you do go into university. So I'll introduce you to Dr. Henry Lee, who is our academic program manager. And I always say this all the time, Henry, so I know you're probably getting sick of hearing it, but he really is a fountain of knowledge. That's why I like to have him on these information sessions, because he just knows it all. And it really helps me out when there's, those tricky questions, because he knows how to answer them all. So I do thank you, Henry, for joining us this evening. And my name's Eloise and I'm the Student Recruitment and Marketing Coordinator. I'm also a college alumni. I did go through the college to get into my bachelor degree. So I can, wholeheartedly say that the college is a great pathway option for students, because I finished at the college in 2018 and I'm still here. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's move on to our course offerings. So at the college, we sort of have two different options. We've got pathway programs to UOW, which are like our university entrance program and our academic diplomas. And they're really designed to help students gain entry into a degree. And we really look at making sure that you're learning all those key academic skills that you need to succeed in any university degree at UOW. Now, vocational programs are very, are similar in the sense that they can get you into a bachelor degree at UOW as well, but they're also those standalone qualifications where you can, if you choose to do so, you can stop right there and go straight into the workforce. So an example of that would be the Diploma of Nursing, where students will come and study with us for 18 months, then become an enrolled nurse. Then if they choose to do so, they can cease their studies right there and just, work as an enrolled nurse, or they can continue to work as an enrolled nurse while they further their studies in the second year of a Bachelor of Nursing to become a registered nurse. I'll go over some of the benefits of studying and academic support too, but firstly, I just wanted to list some of our course offerings. So we do offer a range of courses at the college. Now, all of these courses do get you into every faculty at UOW. Now, we've got arts, social sciences, and humanities. There's a lot of different bachelor degrees that you can get into from this diploma. So if you're wondering, if the bachelor degree you're interested in or your young person is interested in can get, if this one can get them into that bachelor degree, please, feel free to ask, because there is a long list of them and I don't want to sort of start listing them all off if no one's interested in them. But we also have our business diploma, our engineering, we have fitness options, information technology, medical and health sciences, nursing, like I mentioned before, science, aging and individual support. And then we've got our university entrance program, which is just a really super short 14-week program and can get students into the first year of a bachelor degree. With the diplomas, we'll touch on this after, in most cases, you'll go into the second year of the relevant diploma. So they are really are a good option because in a lot of cases, you won't necessarily lose time. You'll essentially be studying the first year of your bachelor degree underneath the diploma. So as I mentioned before, there are benefits of studying at the college. So students will learn the skills and knowledge to better prepare them for university. They'll also have the opportunity to study on the same campus as UOW students. So this is a great opportunity because it makes students feel like they're, at university straight away, but they're not in those huge, big classes where it can become a little bit overwhelming. It's a nice little stepping stone, I guess, between school, like homeschooling, especially if you're, you've been doing most of your studies at home for your schooling life. It's a nice little stepping stone, I guess, between UOW homeschool to university life. You're on the same campus, so you get access to all the same facilities and platforms as UOW students. You'll also find that when you do progress into your bachelor degree, it's not scary, it's not daunting, because you've learnt it all in the college. You'll have your student number, your student email. You'll be keeping that with you when you progress into your bachelor degree. And it's just a nice transition, really. So on top of that, there's a lot of academic support at the college. So because we are, a smaller size, we have smaller class sizes, it really does mean that students get that individual attention and they really do get more opportunities for one-on-one learning as well. So we have our student advisors, and our student advisors are fantastic because they're a really great point of call where if a student has any issues at all, may it be, anything to do with study or personal issues, they can go to the student advisor and the student advisor can direct them onto the correct people. We've also got our learning hub as well, which is located on our Wollongong campus in building 30, which is where the college is. And this is a dedicated space for students where they can go and study, they can book out rooms, they can study with their friends, and they can get support. We've got a lovely guy at the desk there called Andrew, and he's always there to help any of the students. Now, we also offer three types of student tutoring in a sense. So we've got our peer assistant tutors. So this is, I guess, tutors that are embedded directly into the classes. So they'll be in there while you're studying, while you're in your class, and they'll be able to go around and assist you in real time. We've also got peer assisted learning sessions. So these are sessions where you can actually drop in outside of class times and sit there with a, previous UOW college student who has studied the same course that you're studying and has done really, really well in that course. And they're there to help you succeed. And there's also peer assistant coaching too. So this is more of an individual one-to-one academic consultations where students can, look at doing a one-off consultation. It can be weekly. They're really there. All three of these options are really there to help you. And I highly encourage students to take advantage of these options. I did myself when I struggled a lot in the mathematics component of my course. And I found, after a lot of hours and getting a lot of assistance off these peer leaders, I found that I ended up, succeeding and excelling in my mathematics course. There's also tutor consultations available as well. So your tutors are I know it's a bit confusing, the wording. So peer assistant tutors are students that have previously studied at the college, but then there's your tutors, who tutors are essentially your teachers. And they're the ones that are teaching you the content. And if you want to have, you know, a one-on-one session with them, you can also have a one-on-one session with them as well. So we do have additional support services at the college as well. We do have counselling services available. We have a psychologist in Building 30, and all of these are free for college students to use. We have our Career Central on campus, where you can look at going getting, you know, some work. A lot of students will become student reps at the university or the college. We've also got our Wollongonga Indigenous Centre. We've got our accessibility and inclusion support. So this is for anyone that, you know, may need a little bit of extra support. They can get an access plan written up for them. You know, we've got students who are dyslexic or autistic, and there's support there for them to help put them on more of an even you know, level playing field. So it's not like where you get in an advantage or a leg up. It's just really to help give you that extra support. So, you know, you may need extra time when you're doing an assessment or when you're doing an exam, and we can sort of allow that extra time for you based off the accessibility and inclusion support. There's also Studiosity as well. So Studiosity is fantastic. It's basically an online service. I don't know if anyone's heard of it before, but it does cost unless you have I know my local library, Wollongong Library, it's free to use it through the library, but the college offers it for free as well. And it's a really great service to use when you're doing academic writing. So if you're writing an essay or a lab report and you need someone to maybe look over your grammar, your structure, maybe you need a little bit of feedback, that's what Studiosity is there for. And they are available 24/7. It's a good way, I guess, to polish up your assessments before you submit them if you don't have anyone to proofread for you. But keep in mind that you can always get that support from your peer assisted tutors and your tutors and things like that. But Studiosity is just that extra level of support. As I said before, you've got use of the same campus facilities of UOW students. So, you know, that's access to the library, the recreation and aquatic centres, among many other things. The University of Wollongong campus in Wollongong is really just like a little mini village. It's got everything that you could possibly need. You don't necessarily need to leave the campus if you don't want to. It's even got an IGA, a chemist, a dentist, a doctor, everything there. There's also clubs and societies. So for any students that are interested in a certain area, they could look at joining a club and society. And we've also got student service managers as well. So just all these different levels of support that's available. So I'm going to go over a little bit about admissions information now. So we do offer entry into UOW college pathway programs and our 3-session diplomas. With your completed year 11 and 12 UOW University Pathway Certificate. So I will open up some questions soon just to get an idea of what courses individuals are interested in. But what happens as well, when you get an offer at the college, you'll get a packaged offer. And what that means is, that means you'll get your college offer, but you'll also get your bachelor offer as well. So a good thing about that is that you can see right there that, okay, cool, I've got my diploma offer. All I need to do is complete that, and then my bachelor offer is there waiting for me. So you don't need to go and apply again or anything like that. We've also got, I guess I sort of have mentioned this before, but upon successful completion, you will be able to gain entry into your progressive UOW bachelor degree. And we also offer Commonwealth supported places. So what that means is that the same amount of money that it would cost a student to study the first year of their bachelor degree is the same amount of money that it would cost for them to study a diploma at the college. And we've also got government loans available too, which is HECS, where you don't have to pay any upfront payments. The student doesn't generally have to pay any of their university fees back until they're making towards the higher end of 40, I think it's around $49,000, closer to $50,000 a year once they've graduated. And it's just in small increments as well. So these are the entry requirements now that we have for UOW students that want to progress into a course at UOW College. So is there anyone here that's interested in a Diploma of Arts, Social, or if your young person is interested in a Diploma of Arts, Social Science and Humanities, or a Diploma of Business? Feel free to unmute yourself, or even just put your, a thumb up or a hand up or something like that, just so we can get a good idea. Okay, so with these two courses, I'll still go over them because I know we're going to be, sharing this with other people. I can see that some people have put in here history, business, double degree in science and history. Okay. Communications. Okay, awesome. That's good to know. So with your university pathway certificate that you get from UOW, these are the options that you have for these diplomas. So with your young person, they can look at doing a 3-session diploma of Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities, or a Diploma of Business. And it's 3 sessions, meaning the first session is essentially our university entrance program, which is preparation subjects. So subjects that are there to teach students essay writing skills, presentation skills, how to search a library database effectively, how to reference correctly, all of these things that you need to succeed in any university degree. And now you get a final result. You need a final result in English Standard, as you can see here, and then final results in 3 other subjects too. So I might let Henry speak to this a little bit more, because he's probably a little bit more experienced at this than I am. Did you want to speak to these a little bit for students, Henry, for prospective students?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, if you go through the diploma of, well, we just call it Diploma of ASH, Arts, Social Science, Humanities. So look, that'll get you into things like a Bachelor of Arts, or a Bachelor of Social Science would be the 2 main general degrees in the Faculty of Arts, Social Science and Humanities. And when you finish the diploma, you go through with 48 points of credit, which is equivalent to 1 year of your degree. So you go into 2nd year. Now, if you're looking for degrees outside of that, things like, which are in the same faculty, so communication and media, Bachelor of Sport, there's a range of some of these which don't attract the full 48 points of credit. So that can vary a bit. It just depends on the degree, structure of the subjects. If you're going into through the Diploma of Business, well, the 2 degrees you go into there is the Bachelor of Business, and that's more we can specialize in an area like accounting, marketing, management, what have you. Or there's the Bachelor of Business Administration, which is, I guess, more of a generalist, I guess, bachelor in the business area.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually share a one of our pages on our website. And this particular page is a great page because it will show you all of our course offerings, and then it will actually show you the bachelor degrees that you can progress into from there. And it will also show you the exact amount of credit points that you will get towards that bachelor degree based off the diploma. So I'll just put this in the chat right now for everyone, and you can sort of have it, you can open this up as we're going along if you like, and it'll show you exactly what Henry's talking about. So he did mention that a lot of the diploma, like you can go into a lot of different bachelor degrees from the Diploma of ASH, and the 2 that you'll go into the 2nd year from are the arts and the social science degree. And then the other ones, the arrangements are a little bit different. So you'll get some credit points. It depends, what bachelor degree you go into regarding how many credit points you will get. But I'm just going to put this in. Sorry, everyone. It's I'm not the tech savviest, but we'll put this link in here. And feel free to click on that link, and that will take you straight to this page that I'm talking about. Let me know if there are any issues with that link, because I did type that in by hand. So I can see someone's asked about the science diploma and are there any different entry requirements? We will touch on our science diploma. So social science is a little bit different to the science one. I will go on to that one next, but I can also see someone's asked about, they're looking for a pathway to get animation or game design. So unfortunately, we don't offer anything in that particular area. UOW doesn't offer any bachelor degrees in that area either, to my knowledge. Is that correct, Henry? Would you say? You're just on mute, Henry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, look, I'm not like you, Eloise. I'm not aware of anything directly in that area, and so I'll certainly know bachelor degree that we've got entry to, which has that description in it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So whether you're looking at maybe getting into, I guess, IT, I assume.
Yeah, IT. There might be a minor or a major within that bachelor degree.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
So that's definitely something that may be a possibility. I guess we can have a look at that, but I'm not quite across the board on the majors for the Bachelor of IT or the minors, but we can definitely look into that. There's also a question about pathways for international business studies. So I believe going into the Diploma of Business, Henry, would be the best option there. Is that correct? Yeah.
Again, if there is I'm not sure that there's any kind of a specialist degree in that area. I'm just trying to get onto the website here to see. There is there's a specialization within the Bachelor of Business. So Bachelor of Business, International Business, which is a 3-year degree. So that would be a specialization within the Bachelor of Business.
Yeah. So what your young person would do is they would study our Diploma of Business. Then once they've completed that, they'd go into the 2nd year of their Bachelor of Business. And that's when they could choose that specialization in international business studies. And then they could look at specializing in that area for the remaining years of their study at UOW under the bachelor degree. So I'll move on to the next slide now, which will cover some more of our diploma courses. So feel free to ask some more questions as we're on this slide. So the next slide is our Diploma of Information Technology, Diploma of Medical and Health Sciences, and a Diploma of Science. So feel free to let us know in the chat if any of these areas is what your young person may be interested in. Now you can progress into, so with the Diploma of Science, you can progress into the 2nd year of your Bachelor of Science from there. With the Diploma of Medical and Health Sciences, there's actually a few bachelor degrees that you can progress into. So you can go into the 2nd year of either the Bachelor of Medical and Health Sciences, Bachelor of Nutrition Science, or Bachelor of Exercise Science. Now, you can also look at going into a Bachelor of Information Technology from the diploma. I believe you've also got the option to go into the 2nd year of a Bachelor of Computer Science. There's also a Bachelor of Technology, but you don't go straight into the 2nd year. You will get credit points with that. If you do look at the website that I provided before, that will go into more detail about those credit points. But as you can see here on the screen as well, with all our diplomas for UOW students, they are required to study the 3-session diploma, which includes that first session of university preparation subjects. And across the board, it's 70%. So you need to get 70% in English standard for these particular courses, 70% in mathematics standard, and then 70% in 2 other subjects of your choice or of what you're studying. So that's the pathway options there. We can guarantee you, a spot in the diploma based off that.
Yeah, I can see a question there, Eloise, about daughter wants to go into marine science. Well, I'm waiting to hear back from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health, because they've done a bit of a restructure of their marine science area. And we're just seeing if we can, if our students can get access to what will be the Bachelor of Marine Science. So I haven't heard back from the faculty yet on that. So look, that might be a possibility. It's not yet, but we'll just have to wait for the faculty to get back to us. And a Bachelor of Biochemistry, again, not sure if that, I'll have a look, see if I can.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look there.
Specialization, yeah.
Yeah, we don't do the standalone bachelor. That's right, Henry. It is a specialization. So you'd go into the Bachelor of Science and specialize in biochemistry.
Yeah.
So just like the other one that I was talking about before, you'd go into just like business that I was talking about when you study international business, you'd do the same. So you'd do your Diploma of Science, then go into the second year of a Bachelor of Science. And then from there, that's when you'd start your specialization in biochemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look what else there is. Is the diploma and bachelor degrees available for online studies? So the answer to that is no. They aren't. So unfortunately, you can't do anything with the diploma or the bachelor online. You will be required to come onto campus to study. I've got another question. Can the 3-session diploma be studied alongside the Year 12 content from UOW, or does it have to be studied after that?
It's after.
Yeah. So the point is to make sure that you, I guess, that your young person completes Year 11 and 12 via UOW, just to make sure that they've got the best possible chance to succeed in their studies, and then they can progress into that diploma. So when it comes to online studies, there's not really a whole heap of options. We've got a question here regarding that.
Well, look, we're like the uni itself, the college is moving back to face, and from this session, we're currently in our spring session. We're back pretty fully almost to face delivery. The only online options we have are through our university entrance program, which gives direct access to a limited number of degrees. And that's aimed really for students from regional areas, our regional campuses. And if there are students who have a compelling case as to why they need to study online, we will certainly look at that, but that's only for those university entrance program streams that are online. So it's not a large number of classes in any one session, but because we are heading back to, by summer session coming up, we should be back pretty well to full face-to-face.
Yeah, and it should also be noted that even if you do study the university entrance program online, it is only 14 weeks, and then you progress into, maybe the second, your diploma session or your bachelor degree, and that's on campus. So it would only be studying online for that short period of time before you are required to come onto campus.
And the question there about the Liverpool Wollongong campuses. So we offer at the Liverpool campus the Diploma of Business and the Diploma of IT, both run there. None of the other diplomas run there because the university doesn't have things that the students can articulate into, from the other diplomas. So Diploma of IT and Diploma of Business are both offered at Liverpool as well as Wollongong.
Yeah, that's right. So we do offer all of our courses at Wollongong. So everything we've spoken about is offered at Wollongong, whilst there's only limited courses at our Liverpool campus. And the online option, is really just our university entrance program, Stream 1. And
a question there, Eloise, about accommodation.
Yeah, so great question, Caroline. No one's asked that one yet. So it's a really good question to ask. Now, college students do get access to everything university students get access to. So that means that they do get access to accommodation. So there's lots of different options for accommodation. We have on-campus accommodation. We also have accommodation just off campus too, which is still the university and college accommodation. It's just that it may be, you know, close. Students have the option, I guess, to be right on campus. So they could literally roll out of bed and walk 5 minutes to their class, or they can be, you know, maybe a 10-minute drive away from campus where they're closer to the beach or maybe closer to the city centre. But the really good thing about that is that there's a shuttle bus, a free shuttle bus that goes around, and it comes quite frequently. I believe it's anywhere from maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and it'll pick students up and it will take them to campus, or it will take them back to their accommodation. And as I said, it's completely free. Now, there's also options with accommodation too, where students can choose to either have shared rooms. So you can, when I say shared rooms, I mean shared accommodation, that they get their own private room within a shared accommodation. They also have the option to choose where they get their meals cooked for them, or where they cook their own meals. Now, that means that there's a lot of different cost options there. So obviously when they're cooking their own meals, it's a little bit cheaper. There's some accommodation. So the one on campus, which is our Coolabong accommodation, it's probably our newest accommodation that we've got, and it's super, super close to campus, whilst the other ones are situated a little bit further away, but they're all in close proximity still. It's just that with the other accommodations, you wouldn't be able to roll out of bed and get to class in 5 minutes like you could with Coolabong. So if you do want to find out more about accommodation, though, I would highly encourage you to just search into your internet search bar UOW accommodation, and the first thing that will come up will be an accommodation page, and it will show you all the different accommodation options. It'll also give you contact details to so you can contact the accommodation people and find out pricing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just to I guess confirm that yes, college students are definitely able to get accommodation via UOW because they're classed as a UOW student still. So just regarding the costs of the course. So with the costs, expert would be really helpful. Okay. So with that, there is an option to go over. So we haven't got a slide dedicated to that with costs, but we do have a website page, which I will share with you, which actually goes into detail about the costs. And if you click on that, it actually gives you an indication. So the way that it works is there's different streams. So there's different streams of costs. So depending on what bachelor degree or diploma you're studying, they go based off that stream. But I guess the best way to explain that is to share the link with you. I'll just get that link for you, but that's generally how that works, isn't it, Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to share that with you now. And then, yeah, feel free to have a look at that as we're going along. And then if you have any questions that come up, you can always ask us while we're presenting. I believe we've still got quite a bit of time too, so plenty of time to ask any questions that pop up. But costs sort of change from year to year. I'm just going to put this in. Do apologize, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I haven't figured out a way to get the link from my page when I'm sharing a presentation yet. So I will become more tech savvy as we go along, I'm sure. But I've just shared that now. So if you click on this link here, that will show you all the different options. It'll show you the vocational course fees, but it'll also show you the academic courses as well, which is the ones we're covering now. Okay. So as before, yeah, this is what your young person needs to do to be able to get that guaranteed entry into a diploma at the college. As long as they're sort of hitting that final result of 70% in their UOW program, then they're guaranteed to get a course offering. So lastly is our Diploma of Engineering. So once again, this is a 3-session diploma where they'll study their university entrance program, which is the preparation subjects in their first session, and then the final 2 sessions are diploma subjects. So they will need to get a 70% in English standard, and they are required with engineering because it is a high level of mathematics to get a 70% in mathematics advanced. So it's really highly encouraged to be studying advanced mathematics just to give yourself the best, opportunity to get into the diploma and to do well in the diploma as well. Now, is anyone here interested in engineering? Anyone's young person interested in a career as an engineer? Doesn't look like there really is. The way that it works though is that with engineering at UOW, students that go straight into the bachelor degree, they study a broad range of areas in engineering before they go into their second year of Bachelor of Engineering. And that's the same as the diploma, because students are really studying the equivalent subjects to the bachelor degree. If anyone here is, watching this recording and their young person is interested in engineering, what they'll find is when they get to their second year of their bachelor degree, so from the diploma or from the first year of a Bachelor of Engineering, that's when they choose the area they're interested in. So I can see someone's just put in that they're looking at architecture. I'm guessing possibly architectural engineering. Is that correct? If that is the case, then what will happen is in your diploma, you'll study your broad areas. So you're sort of looking to all those different areas in engineering. And then once you go into the second year of your Bachelor of Engineering, that's when you'll choose your architectural engineering specialization. At UOW, we offer a 4-year engineering degree. So you'll do the first year of engineering under the diploma, then you'll go into your second year of your Bachelor of Engineering, and you'll continue to study that for 3 years, because you will do an honours year in your 4th year of your engineering degree.
Just thought I might quickly mention there that if we've got students that are currently working away through year 11 or year 12 and they find that they haven't got the marks exactly where they want them to be, to just contact the UOW teachers, because we're here to support students and give feedback and have assessments resubmitted to get kids to where they need to go. So just thought if all of a sudden you felt disappointed because your marks weren't where they need to be, reach out to the teachers. That's what we're here for. So
yeah, thanks, Ellen. Thanks. And that goes the same for us as well, Henry, isn't that right? You can always have a conversation with, just because your marks aren't necessarily where they need to be, you can always have a conversation with us. We always encourage students to apply directly to the college so we can assess you on a case-by-case basis. You can have a chat to Henry, have a meeting with him. We can see what we can do. In some cases, Henry, would students, maybe need to study some, extra subjects, or what would you generally suggest, Henry? You're the expert in this.
It's a case of, we'll look at each case on its merits. And look, if there's something that's maybe not quite there, we may have another option, an alternative. It's just hard to say until you know exactly what it is. And it might be if someone's maths isn't quite where it needs to be. We do have other maths subjects, and we could look at a student getting enrolled in perhaps a lower level maths subject to get them there. I mean, that obviously lengthens the time that you take to complete your course. But if that's where you want to get to, we'll certainly have a look at it, for sure. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And as I mentioned before, the college really does want to see you succeed. We don't want to set you up for failure. We really want to help you do the best that you can do. And if that means that, you may have to take an extra subject, then, so be it. But it's going to make sure that you're doing, you know, you're going to get the most out of it and you're going to succeed and you're not going to struggle, because we don't want you to struggle at all. We want you to do really, really well.
Yeah, it's just finding that happy medium where, look, we're not here to put obstacles in your way, but on the other hand, we don't want to put students into something where they fall over, get discouraged, and perhaps, you know, walk away from it. That's not good for them, not good for us, not good for anyone. So look, we'll, you know, if a case is put to us, we'll look at it, and if we can find a way, we'll look at it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, and also don't get disheartened either. I was not the greatest at mathematics or statistics in high school. I just didn't think I sort of had it in me. I did go to the college and got a lot of help. And in my degree, which is psychological science, there's a lot of statistics in it. And surprisingly, I ended up walking away with distinctions and HDs, which was surprising for me. I never thought I'd sort of get that, you know, achieve marks like that. So there's always ways to get there. You just have to put that hard work in.
Yeah, I see a question there from Lubisa. Can I apply to any university in Australia using the Wollongong diploma? Well, yes, you can, but if you're going to the University of Wollongong, well, as Eloise said earlier, you get a packaged offer. So you finish your diploma successfully with the college and you're guaranteed entry into your degree offer at the University of Wollongong. If you want to take your diploma, which you finish at the college, and you want to go to another university to see if you can get into a course there, look, this happens. You know, it's not infrequent that people will do this for various reasons, but you'd be applying as, well, again, like any other applicant to that university. But generally speaking, our students who do this, if they've got the diploma from us, which, you know, in most cases is then the equivalent of having done first year of, you know, undergraduate degree, then the chances are you're probably going to get in to the other place. But that said, that is a matter for that university. Okay, so whereas you do the diploma with us, you've got your packaged offer, complete the diploma here, and you march straight into your degree course at the University of Wollongong. You're not going to have that guarantee if you take your diploma to another university. But look, we've known students over many years who've done that and have gone from everywhere from the college to get into, you know, the ANU or James Cook University or wherever. And look, generally they get there. Okay, but in the end, it is a matter for that university.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we can guarantee our pathway, but we can't guarantee what they're going to say and if they'll accept you in. Yeah.
And a question there from Naomi, where it states final results 70% in English standard, etc. Are those results coming from the UOW teachers marking? Yeah, well, that will be the results that the student gets when they're finished at UOW.
Yeah. So as Ellen said before, that you know, with the final results, if you need to possibly resit or speak to your UOW teachers, they're the ones that would ultimately give you those results.
And a gap year, Yep. And look, you apply, let's say you applied, you were made an offer, you can defer it for up to a year. But if you just decide, a student decided to take a year off, you know, doing other things, and then after that year they came back to us and they've got their, you know, EUKA qualifications, and that meets the entry requirements, then fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely. You can definitely still apply to the college after taking a gap year. So many students do it. A lot of students want to take that time off. But as Henry said, you could do it the other way as well. You could apply once you finish your EUKA program, get your offer, defer it for 12 months, and then come back and your offer's there waiting for you and you don't have to apply for it again.
And look, just as a rule of thumb, I mean, look, if a student came to us and they'd been away for a couple of years, I think we'd be fine with that. Unless entry requirements or something have changed, but other things being equal, you probably wouldn't want to leave it for 20 years, but if it's within a period of X years, then yeah, fine. But look, no matter how old it is, anyway, look, come and talk to us. We'll look at what you've got.
Yeah. And look, you might be in a case like me where, God, I think I took about 12 years off school before I decided I wanted to go to university, and I had to gain entry by sitting an entrance test because none of my results were sort of valid. And that's how I got assessed into the college. And there's always ways to get there. And I feel like I've spoken to a lot of UOW students before, and I know, and I hope we've been able to sort of make you feel, give you a little bit of ease knowing that you don't need an ATAR to get where you want to be. ATARs, no one even asks you what your ATAR is when you're in university. I myself did not get an ATAR. I went into the workforce, and here I am now, about to go into my honours year, and eventually I'll go for my PhD. So I know many students that did not go down the typical path from getting an ATAR straight into university, and they're still doing amazingly well. So yeah, take comfort in that. And UOW will definitely, I know UOW will definitely, if you're not at the end yet, or you're sort of going in year 10 going into year 11, or year 11 going into year 12, they will equip you with everything that you need to do really well in the college.
Yeah, in fact, earlier today I was talking to one of the academics in the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health. And as it turned out, she told me she'd actually done a college course about 12 years ago through the Shoalhaven campus, and now she's a lecturer in nursing at the university. So all sorts of things can happen. Yeah,
it's so true. I think there's that analogy, which I'm probably not going to say it correctly, but it's something along the lines of everyone can take longer to get up to the top of the mountain, but the ones that take longer generally have stronger legs by the time they get to the top. So if you have to take different pathways along the way, you can do amazing things still. We've got so many success stories.
And Naomi has asked, the diplomas take 12 months to complete. Yep, so 3 sessions. And then for some courses that leads into the second year. Look, in many cases that's correct. So if you complete the entire diploma in, say, the diploma of ASH, you go into the Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Social Science, for example, with 1 year of credit. You're starting in the second year of your degree after you leave the diploma. Same with engineering, business, some other areas, degrees, the way it's structured in the faculty, the credit's more limited. But in most cases, what most students are doing, they're doing courses, they'll get the full 48 points of credit. And then Leanne has asked, the diploma studied on a full-time basis. Well, no, you don't have to. You can study part-time. And that, and obviously, it just means it takes you longer to finish, but you can, the student can study on a part-time basis.
Yeah. So full-time is 4 subjects per session, but you can, 3 to 4 subjects per session, I guess, because 3 subjects is still classed as full-time. But part-time is anywhere from 1 to 2 subjects per session. But yeah, as Henry said, just keeping in mind that it will take you, a bit longer to complete your studies, but it's definitely an option there.
Yep. And any student who's asking about going part-time, we get them to see one of our student advisors to go through the options just to make sure everything looks okay, because sometimes you can, for example, if your offer is, say, for a Bachelor of Exercise Science, right? You're doing the Diploma of Medical and Health Sciences, and your offer at uni is for a Bachelor of Exercise Science. Well, that's one of a number of degrees that they only have an intake at the university at the beginning of the year in autumn session. So if you decide at some point to go part-time, one of the things you might need to be aware of is if you kind of miss the boat, you might find yourself not starting in the year following, but the year after. So, and there are some subjects which in a course which are what we call a prerequisite for another subject. So, for example, in the Diploma of IT, there's a subject, first up, Programming Fundamentals, which is a prerequisite for the next subject in programming, object programming. That means you have to have passed Programming Fundamentals before you can enroll in object programming. So there's not many of those, but they're the kinds of little things that are there. So if a student is considering part-time, we get them to see a student advisor. They can sit down, look at it all, and just make sure students are aware of the, any implications or complications that might arise from going part-time.
Yeah, and like as Henry said, that's why it's super important to speak to a student advisor, because they'll be able to let you know if if you'll fall behind when it comes to like your bachelor, and if you have to wait a longer period of time. But we've also got a question here, Henry. Someone wants to know, Amy wants to know if a student wants to do a double degree in arts and science, and are they required to do 2 different diplomas? Well,
no, you don't. You'd need to pick one, because we look. I think there is. I think there's only one double degree that we actually have entry into, which I think is in the
social science and psychological science.
That's it. Social science, psychological science, which are in the same faculty. Okay, but really outside of that, we don't have access direct from the college to double degrees. So if a student wanted to do a double degree, they'd need to do, either do the Diploma of Arts, Social Sciences, Humanities, in the case you're giving as Naomi, or do the Diploma of Science. And while they're doing that, we can get them to, get the advice from the appropriate faculty that what a student would need to do. So if they they did a Diploma of Science, so they go into the Bachelor of Science at the uni. And it would then be a matter of them getting the advice about, what do I then need to do that double degree?
But
we don't have direct access into those from the college.
That's right. Yeah. So once you get into the bachelor degree, that's when you speak to someone and say, okay, how do I go about getting into a double degree? And it's totally doable. People have done it before. I know a student that went into psychology arts and then added on law to her degree. So it is doable. You've just got to speak to, I guess, the people at the university.
Any student who wants to do that, would just say, like any question you've got, and as you may be beginning to guess by now, the best first port of call at the college for a student who's got a question about anything like that, student advisor.
Yeah.
And if it comes up, it's a question like the one Naomi has asked. We can, look at setting something up so that we can, put the student in contact with the relevant person in the faculty.
Yeah.
So that when you're sort of, just maybe, you might just be a couple of weeks into your Diploma of Science, whatever. But we can put you in touch with someone in the faculties who can talk to you about then what's required once you leave the college, and then to finish up with that double degree.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, key takeaway from that is student advisors are your first point of call. Yeah. So we've only got a little bit of time left, but I might just shoot through these slides. Now, also keep in mind that if we don't have time for all the questions at the end, you can also reach out to us. I've put in our number and our email address as well. But I just wanted to touch on our scholarships. So this is for any students that are Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. This is our Auntie Linda Cruz scholarship. So this covers 100% of our fees at the college. So any course at the college, if you identify as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, you will get it 100% fee-free. There is an application process for that, but it's definitely a good option, something that students should take advantage of. We've also got 2 scholarships for our Diploma of Nursing. So I mentioned our Diploma of Nursing earlier on. So if there's any you know, future nurses here. You can do, you can get an equity nursing scholarship. So if you're successful with an equity nursing scholarship, that'll cover 100% of your tuition fee. So you won't have to pay any fees towards the diploma. There's also the option for the access nursing scholarship. So that will cover 25% of the tuition fee. So that's another piece of advice I'll just give you quickly. When you do go into university as well, apply for all the scholarships, every scholarship. If you think, oh, I don't know if I'm eligible for that scholarship, apply anyway, because a lot of the time people apply and don't apply and there's scholarships left over. I apply for scholarships every year. I always end up getting around $1,000 to $5,000 and it's totally worth it. So please, if you do anything, definitely apply for scholarships. The next step is just how to apply. So I did forget to take out these final parts here. Early admissions and university admissions centre, they don't matter for UOW students. I do apologise for not taking that out, but apply directly to the college. So just come straight to the college website and apply directly from there. That way we can assess you on a case-by-case basis and, you know, get you into your chosen course. And what happens is when you apply directly, you come straight through to me and my team, and we can help you go through that process from application to offer to enrollment. And I'll be your point of call as well as some of my team members as well. So I know we've done a bit of a panel with the Q&A, but we might just leave it open for a few more minutes, just to see if there's any more questions. I think Leanne does have a question though, Henry. I think you're on mute. You're on mute still, Henry. This is a common occurrence. This happens to me all the time as well.
So do the diploma courses run at the same time as the rest of UOW? In the main, they don't. We run 3 full sessions a year, autumn, spring and summer. So each is 14 weeks, that's 12 teaching weeks, and then 2 weeks with final assessments, etc. Our autumn session at the start of the year, so that starts usually late February, early March, that runs pretty parallel with the universities in the main. They have a 13-week teaching session, we have 12. But our autumn session, starting, as I said, late February, early March, runs fairly closely with the uni. But our next session in the year, spring, we start 4 weeks before UOW starts their spring session. Right? And so we're starting probably usually sometime about late-ish June, and we run through to you'll finish up sometime in September. And then we've got our summer session, which runs from
October,
late-ish October.
Yeah.
Break for Christmas, New Year, and we'd finish up there probably about late January, early February, so in time for the start of the uni autumn session. So look, our sessions don't run at exactly the same dates as UOW. And one of our courses, though, the Diploma of Engineering. So the second and third sessions of that, which is where the students are doing the, if you like, the engineering and maths, physics subjects proper, they actually sit with the UOW classes with those, and those run on university autumn and spring dates. So apart from engineering, everything else runs on the college dates. If you go to the college website, you'll see, just put in search dates and you'll find the session dates there.
Yeah.
And
we've also got, actually, it would be, I would say the best time to apply, Naomi, is as soon as you finish UOW year 12. Yeah. When do they get their UOW results, Ellen? Once they finish their year 12, you've got your microphone, I mean, on mute as well now.
It really depends on the students. So the students are actually self-paced, but most students who are wanting to apply will have those by early November. It just depends on when they submit their assessments.
All right, so yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
If a student is submitting their assessments, they know they want to apply, then they can always email through and say, look, I've just submitted them. I'm applying. I need these marked ASAP, and we'll put them to the front to make sure teachers mark those first.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
when would the date that our students would need to have their applications in or prefer to have them in?
Yeah, great question. I would say, look, you know, based off that, like classes generally start around end of February, start of March, for our autumn session. So if they're finishing off their studies, you know, let's just say, for example, at the end of this year, 2023, I would highly encourage them to sort of get them in at least by like mid-January, mid-January to sort of start of February at the latest, only because, you know, they need to go through that application process, and sometimes that can take a little bit of time and then move them to offer. We try to generally turn it around within a 2-week period, but sometime around when it's that time of year, it's quite busy. We get a high volume of applications, and there's a lot of students that, you know, maybe applying for university and don't get in and have to come through the college. Yeah, I'd say, you know, at least 4 weeks before start date. That at the very, very latest. Yeah. And keeping in mind start dates, end of February, start of March for 2024.
Yeah, so I would definitely encourage people to get their assessments to UOW, you know, by November, because we do have a 2-week closure over Christmas. So, you know, there won't be any teachers marking at that point. So,
Yeah. And we've got a question here, which is, what if I wanted to take a year off after finish my UOW pathway before starting at UOW? So if you mean starting, so you could basically, there's 2 ways you could do it. So if you finished UOW and you wanted to take some time off, you could, you know, apply for the college and then just put in a gap year for 12 months and then start the following year. Or if you wanted to study at the college and then take a gap year after the college, you could defer your bachelor offer as well for 12 months. Yeah. So with anything, you can defer for up to 12 months. Hope that answered your question. Yeah. So I guess we're getting towards the end now, and I'm mindful that everyone's probably starving and wants some dinner. But if you do have any more questions, feel free to ask them right now. Otherwise, please feel free to reach out to me via, I'll share that number and that email address again. Feel free to reach out to me at any time, write an email, give us a call, and we can answer any other questions that come up. But yeah, I think
we've also got your details, Eloise. So if anybody's forgotten or they don't get it written down in time, we'll certainly share those. But we do want to thank you, Eloise and Henry, for the time that you've given us this evening. We really appreciate that. And no doubt there'll be plenty of smiling faces from UOW happily at the college and then off into the university.
Good.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ellen. And thanks everyone for joining us. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, everyone does well with their studies. Good luck, and hopefully we see some of your young people at the college, you know, next year or the years to come.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Yes, good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's everyone gone. So yeah, thanks, Eloise. I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, I think that went really well. Thanks, Henry.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking that time out to do that.
Right.
Was this, have we done